Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as Ashley Fan, back today with another video. I know that I have been extremely absent from YouTube, outside of just making edits or anything like that. Life is still extremely busy. As you all know, I am in the middle of moving. Like I said last time, we found a house and everything, the lease, everything has been signed. It's just the moving process is taking a lot longer than usual with moving the boxes and things like that. I hope after this I never ever have to move again because moving is extremely annoying and I hate it. So yes, right now I'm also in between houses because we don't have everything at the new house yet. Like I don't even have my bed there. So I'm still technically living at my old place just until I move out. So I don't even have any internet here at my old house. All my internet and everything has been transferred over to the new house. So that's why you guys, whenever I upload, I'm at my new house doing it. I'm just going there to hang out for the internet, and I usually come back here to go to sleep because again I don't have a bed or anything there, and I'm not buying an air mattress because that is a total waste of money. Honestly, to me, it's a total waste of money. But I thought since I'll be in next day, I'm going over there today, and I have all next week off due to the holiday. I thought I would just make some videos. Now I know I said I had Winter Hill rants to get done, and trust me, believe me, I do. But it was something that I want to talk about concerning Gossip Girl and just talking about Gossip Girl. And I think towards the end of the video I will talk about Dawson's Creek because I just finished watching season 2 and I'm taking a little bit of a break before I start season 3 because I have not finished watching any of the Disney Channel live action shows that I started. So yeah, so I might take a little bit of a break from watching teen drama shows so I can finish those shows. And then when I get done finishing that, I'm doing one show at a time. So right now I'm watching Hannah Montana. I just finished Sweet Love Zack and Cody season 1. I decided I would watch Hannah Montana season 1. And I think once I get done watching Hannah Montana season 1, I will watch Still Like Charlie season 2. And once that is finished, I will go start watching Dawson's Creek season 3. But I will get into season 2 and what I thought about the season and everything. I'll dive deep into that. But today I want to talk about Gossip Girl. And the rant that I want to talk about Gossip Girl is really about Nate Archibald. And what originally made me think about this was I saw a Reddit thread about Nate, and the girl said she felt like people don't hold him accountable enough for pretty much being a bad guy. Like, being a bad guy when it came in between his love life, like, I feel like there's such a double standard that what Nate did in season 1 and season 2 when it came to Blair and Serena and when it came to Vanessa and Jenny. It's crazy to me how it's rarely ever called out, but yet we can call out all these other guys who have messy love lives and who want to drag them from filth, but no one wants to drag Nate, and how he pretty much was like moving sneaky in both of the relationships and both of the love triangles he was in, considering season 1 and season 2. So we're gonna get into this Serena and Blair one first. It's funny to me how nobody ever talks about the fact that Nate pretty much led Blair on their entire relationship. So people want to say he has feelings for Serena. Me personally, in the flashback episode, I do wish Gossip Girl would have at least told us where did it start when he had feelings for Serena. Because to me, I think it just started once he lost his virginity. Like, to me, it seemed like once he got a taste of that kitty cat from Serena, he just became completely obsessed with her. Like, I don't even think it was feelings. I just think it was just that it was such an amazing first time with her that he just wanted to live out more of that fantasy. Honestly, that's where it came from, what I thought about it. Because it's like, what feelings? We didn't really get a chance to see where they came from, nothing. And if y'all sitting here and tell me that it was the episode in the Thanksgiving episode of season 1, I'm going to sit here and tell y'all that's not true, because in that episode, Nate was completely devoted to Blair. Like, they actually seemed really happy together in that episode in the flashbacks. So don't sit here and tell me it started from that, because I totally would not believe you. But to me, I just wish I would have loved to know where it came from, because to me it just seems like it came from initially from that one night when they had sex together. Really, that's where it came from when they. But let's get into it. Nate pretty much led Blair on, knowing that he had feelings with somebody else, played on my good sis heart, confessing his feelings for Serena, slept with Serena, kept that a secret for a whole ass year. At least he did tell Blair the truth. But you know, he kept it to himself a little too long. But you know what? I'm gonna give him points for telling her the truth. Sooner is better than later. He pretty much led Blair on their entire relationship. And people act like Blair had no reason to be upset. Even when all the times Blair tried to get the relationship back to what it was, Nate never cared to try to get it back to where it was. And then he had the fucking audacity to try to blame Blair for why it can't get to where it was because she always distracted. No. How about the fact that I planned an entire masquerade ball for us so it can be romantic. She set it up in such a romantic way. Find me. Kinda like a Cinderella story. Find me by the end of the night and I'm yours. He didn't do any of that. The whole time at the party, he's just standing around watching Serena, dancing with other guys, watching her and Dan together, completely in his feelings about Serena, that he gets caught up by telling Jenny that he got feelings to think that Serena was Jenny. He's telling Jenny that I got feelings for Serena. And when him and Blair interacted in that episode at the middle of the night, he talked about Blair, I'm sorry. She said this whole night I wanted to start over. And you didn't even try. Like, I just don't understand people who talk about, like, when that girl said Blair was a pick-me, she tried so hard with Nate, even though he didn't want her. It's like, how was she a pick-me for that? The guy that she's been with, to me, her and Nate been together for at least 3 years at this point. They were there for 3 years. How was she a pick-me for wanting to work with the guy that she's been with her entire life? She's never been with anyone else. Playing in the wedding, giving him the heart on her sleeve. Blair was completely devoted to Nate, and he wasted her time. He did not want her at all in season 1 until he found out that she was moving on with someone else because he couldn't have Serena. If anything, that would have been the perfect time to get her and Nate together, not in season 3. I did not care about that. I think the writers did that because they didn't know what else to do with Nate or Serena, so that's just throw them together. I did not care for Serena and Nate. They little shit name. I did not care about Serena and Nate together. I'm sorry about it. I did not care about them. I didn't care for the relationship. I just didn't care for it. People who say they should have been in-game, they don't even really have a reason for them being in-game outside the fact that they just match each other. Why? Because they're both boring and dull people? Yeah, the relationship has nothing in it. I mean, I can't even say anything positive about it because I didn't care about it. Me personally, I think Nate, his in-game shit was Jenny. I think him and Jenny have way more chemistry. They have way more of a vibe. And I feel like it was way more of a love story there. With Serena and Nate, this too. People don't want to talk about this. Y'all get on Lathan's head for their relationship starting off. People want to talk about it's a whole love story based off cheating and sneaking around. Even though they had established feelings for each other way before Lucas cheated on Brooke. People tend to forget that notion, that piece of information. People tend to forget that, the Lathan haters. But how can I talk about how Serena and Nate, their original feelings came from the fact that they both betrayed Blair. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all want to get on Lathan here? Y'all don't want to get on these other couples who do the exact same thing that y'all hate Lathan for. That shit is such a double standard, and I fucking hate it. Like, that in itself should be a whole ass video. Hating Lathan for what other couples did, and I have so many examples of other couples doing this in TV shows and in fucking romantic films that y'all want to hate Lathan for. Like, y'all can really shut the fuck up with that and show it up sideways, up your ass with that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, I just don't understand people who say Blair was a pick-me. Blair was a pick-me for trying to make a 3-year relationship work that she thought the guy was completely committed to, and that he came back to her to fix it. How you gonna come back to me to fix it and want me to forgive you, but yet you do nothing to make it work? Like, he really played in Blair's face the entire time in season 1. Like, her and Nate never had any chemistry. I felt nothing when Blair and Nate were together. Absolutely nothing. They had zero chemistry. Zero. Like, Nate didn't want her unless she was with someone else, in my opinion. Like, no one gets on Nate's head for pretty much trying to have his cake and eat it too in season 1. He wants Serena, but yet he wants to be with Blair, I guess. But he really wants to be with Serena. Like, and the writers dropped that storyline so quickly, in my opinion, in season 1. I wish season 1 of Gossip Girl would have had more episodes. Like, I don't know if they only produced a little bit because they didn't know if CW was going to pick it up for another season. But to me, I definitely feel like season one should have been longer. Season 1 should have had like at least 20 or 22 episodes. Because I feel like there were so many storylines. Well, not a lot. But when I initially think of Nate and Serena, I really feel like that is a storyline that could have happened in season 1, in my opinion. We could have left it in season 1 and called it a day. Because I feel like doing it in season 3, it just felt so forced and it really just came out of nowhere with her and Nate, in my opinion. So, like, yeah, Nate cheats on Blair with Serena, pretty much prays for the day that Serena comes back so he can try to get his shot with her. The day that Serena came back, I thought we could talk about me and you, talk about there is no me and you, that you're Blair's boyfriend. Like, are you serious? You're still in a relationship with Blair. And, Serena ain't safe either. Her trying to act like it didn't happen, her pretty much showing no accountability. The fact that Nate had to tell her and not you, I just feel like, not even that, I don't even care about who told Blair. As long as someone could have told her the truth is all I care about. I'm not going to sit here and say if one of them, somebody should have said something. It doesn't. I don't care who. As long as someone should have said something, it should have been somebody. Like, the fact that when Blair mentioned it, she looking at her stupid like, how did you find out? Like, it took Serena 3 episodes to apologize for what she did. 3 episodes. And yet, y'all get on Peyton head for being honest. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I don't get it. Like, Nate got flinched from Serena. He loses virginity to Serena. Keeps that a secret. Literally is infatuated about the idea of her coming back and now trying to kindle on a relationship that didn't have anything to it outside of just a one-night stand. Like, no one talks about that. No one talks about how he is a total hypocrite for doing what he did to Blair, but getting mad at her for doing what she did with Chuck, but with a different situation. Her and Nate were completely over. That's no non-conversation. That's no non-conversation with her and Nate. In episode 7 in season 1. Sorry, my apologies. In this episode, Blair finds out by Jenny that Nate told Serena that he told Jenny that he got flinched with Serena. Blair is completely over it. She was really excited about her and Nate, her getting the family diamond, and her and Nate becoming pretty much potential endgame and them being a couple. But when she found out about Jenny, she was just over it. She couldn't take it anymore. I think that made Blair even feel even more insecure about being friends with Serena, because not only is she in Serena's spotlight when it comes to people sidelining her over Serena, her boyfriend wants her too. Her boyfriend wants her best friend, even though she thought they were completely in love with each other and completely devoted to each other. Like, I think people just think that Blair is jealous of Serena because she's just jealous. Like, no, there's actually deep-rooted issues and reasonings for Blair for being jealous of Serena. Now, am I saying that Blair is vindicated for taking her insecurities out on Serena? No, because I feel like if you're insecure about who your friends are, you shouldn't be friends with them. And I think the only reason why her and Serena were friends, I actually plan on making another video about their friendship, a part 2 video that I want to talk about, because these are people on TikTok that really piss me off and was talking about Blair. So I just want to clear up the real facts about her and Serena's friendship. And everything right now that I'm mentioning will be in it. I don't think Blair should have been friends with Serena if it made her that insecure and that insignificant. But I think the reason why they were only friends with each other is because, first of all, it was a very codependent friendship. They didn't know how to make friends outside of each other. And it was just a very toxic cycle of, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you. So I really felt like Blair had reasons for being jealous of Serena. But if I really want to be honest, Serena was jealous of Blair too. Serena was jealous of Blair too. The writers, they refused to impact on it in the show. But I saw it. I definitely saw Serena being jealous of Blair the entire time. The entire time. The entire time. She wanted Blair's boyfriends. She wanted Blair's family. She wanted Blair's mother. She wanted Blair's father. Like, she wanted Blair's position in high school. She wanted Blair everything. She wanted Blair's vibe. She wanted Blair's charisma. Like, she wanted everything. She wanted Blair's beauty. Like, come on now. She wanted Blair's aura. I could keep going on and on about this. But the conversation that her and Nate had outside when she was like, I saw your father get arrested, and she said, why didn't you come to me? I would have listened. He tried to blame her for talk about every time I try, you distracted by a mask ball, by yada 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 gang. Let's talk about that mask ball. Let's talk about how I stood there the entire night until 12 o'clock in the morning waiting for you to come to me so we could have a perfect night together, and you busy kissing Serena and confessing your feelings. What a fucking jerk. But yeah, y'all want to talk about Lucas. Y'all want to talk about Craig. Y'all want to talk about all these other guys who got these messy love lives but don't want to put any motherfucking hit on Nate. Why? Because he's a good guy? Why? Because he's confused? Why? Because he got a messy family situation? No, fuck that. Wrong is wrong and right is right. What Nate did is season 1 to Blair was fucking wrong. And then him acting like he don't know why the fuck they broke up. Like, Blair had every right to break up with his ass, and she should have never went back to Nate. Now, was hooking up with Chuck wrong? Yes, but I think Blair was very vulnerable that night. I think she just wanted to release what she was feeling about everything. Now, I do think sleeping with Chuck was wrong. I do think continuing the relationship sexually was wrong. But I don't think she cared because Nate didn't care about her. Obviously, he didn't care about her and her. He didn't consider her feelings. He didn't have the audacity or any of the sort to be honest. And then he want to walk back in episode 10. Is it 10? Yeah, because I believe episode 9 for season 1 is the Christmas episode. I don't really mind the Christmas episode of season 1 for Gossip Girl. I do think every episode of Gossip Girl season 1 is watchable. But are there certain episodes that I don't care for? Honestly, the other episodes of season 1 are very watchable. Like, there were a lot of episodes of season 1 that I didn't like when I was younger, but now that I watch it down and older, I'm like, oh my god, every episode of season 1 has something to deliver. You know, the season 1, episode 9 was about Blair and her relationship with her dad, and her dad bringing his lover down when Blair just wanted to spend time with him. And I don't think he could see that, but I feel like anyone with a brain would have seen the fact that Blair just wanted to spend time with her dad. And, you know, that episode with Serena trying to do something romantic for Dan. You know, Lily and Rufus try to figure out what they're doing. Rufus try to figure out what him and his wife are doing. So all of it was just everywhere. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the episode in season 1, episode 9. I don't have like I said, I don't have internet here, so I do not know, and all my DVDs are packed up. So I couldn't tell you the episodes even if I had the list here. But I know I have the list of episodes somewhere in these boxes, I just don't know which one. But I do know an episode where it was it's not Masquerade, what is it? Society Gala. It's a society ball. In that episode, Nate talked about he wanted to take Blair to it to make up for everything that happened with the messy breakup. He tried to come here with the sweater and talk about, I came here to check on you, but look what I found when I put the sweater on. Her initial. Her heart. She gonna have her heart on his sleeve. You see how romantic that is? That is so romantic. She was so devoted to Nate, and he was like, if you want it back, I give it to you. She said, no, she said, I give it to you because she said, I was in love with you. She asked him what he really hear. He said he wanted to take her to the society ball. He know how important it is to her, and he just wanted to make things right. So she said yes. Chuck got jealous. Chuck lies to Nate. He manipulates the situation by telling Nate that Blair is seeing Carter Bazin. And was Chuck right for what he did? No, but I also understand why, because Blair was wrong for leading him on sexually. I made a whole video about this, about the whole double standard in the episode about a thin line between Chuck and Nate. She was wrong for leading Chuck on sexually and knowing that he was getting feelings for her, genuine feelings, and then she just dumps him to the side. She was wrong for that. Acting like what they did never happened, everything. Her and Nate go to this ball together. She finds out that Chuck was the one who manipulated the whole situation with Carter Bazin, and she told her that she's not seeing him anymore because she said that she can't be with him if he can't even consider her own feelings about what he did. He talked about, I did it so we could be together. She talked about, that's why me and you would never work, because she said you don't consider my feelings. She's unlike Nate. Really? Does he? Because Nate did a lot of sneaky shit without considering your feelings. And then that same episode, her and Nate hook up. She had sex with Nate, making Nate believe that she was a virgin. It was very messy. And I don't think Blair should have given Nate a chance. Even though they weren't even dating, they just had sex and she didn't know what they were. And I feel like she don't owe him anything by going back to him because he played with her heart. He talked about, I love you, and all this other crap, like, boy, bye. In the School Life episode, when her and Nate got back together at the end of the episode, that's what I'm talking about. It was just such a waste of time. Her and Nate got back together in that episode, and then they broke up in the next episode. It's just like, let it lie. Her birthday, when I did mention her birthday episode, Nate calls her in the birthday episode and tells her that he wants to get back together. Again, she waits all night for him at her birthday, knowing that she wanted to get back together. Didn't tell anyone that they initially broke up because it was her birthday wish for them to get back together because, again, Blair was very much emotionally tied to Nate, and I don't think Nate understood how emotionally tied she was to him. And I think the reason why Nate was just so disconnected was because he wasn't emotionally tied to Blair anymore. He wasn't. And I feel like if that's the case, then leave my good sis alone. Leave her alone. Leave her the fuck alone. Stop trying to come into her life just to play with her feelings when you don't even want to be with her for real. She had sex with Nate. She had sex with Chuck again. No, episode 9 is the Thanksgiving episode. I'm tripping. Episode 9 is the Thanksgiving episode. Episode 10, I believe, is the Christmas episode. Yeah, I know I was tripping. And yeah, I just feel like Nate just played with her feelings way too much. Like, again, he stood her up again twice in the middle of the night. Wait for her waiting for him. Like, just ridiculous. And then episode 12 is School Lies. Nate trying to tell her what's going on, so you haven't talked to me since we slept together and everything like that. And Chuck is still waving it over her head that he can tell Nate anytime he wants about their night, the nights they spent together. And that's why Blair doesn't want to get back together with Nate, because she doesn't want him to find out. So when they get in trouble for the key and who broke into the school to swim in the fucking swimming pool, Nate tells the principal that he took it because he was trying to save Blair from getting expelled. He know how much her going to Yale and her dreams mean to her. Oh, so now you want to stand up and you want to show chivalry. Now you want to do that. And he was like, she asked him that's the most romantic thing anyone's ever done. He said, I love you, Blair. She said, stop. He said, what? She said, I just don't want to be with you right now. He talked about thanks for catching up. I don't owe you anything. Not after you cheat on me. Not after you stood me up twice and play with my feelings. And then you don't even tell me that the reason why you were originally even thinking about getting together with me was because your dad forced you to. Like, Nate was Nate was replaying with Blair's feelings, and like, I think no one talks about it. Like, I'm breaking it down for y'all. No more double standards. I don't play with it. We're not gonna have double standards on this channel. I'm not doing it. So, in that same episode, her and Nick get back together. She talked about can Nate work even though after all the things they've been through. He talked about he wants to make it right. He said he wants to show her that he's completely devoted this time. They get back together. She tells Nate that she loves him. She always has. She always will. and Nate tells her that he loved her too. You know, he even told her that he needed her to come to the hospital with him to see his dad. He said he don't know what to say anymore when he see him, anything like that. She talked about, you're actually leaning on me this time. She said we'll actually be way better together. He said we already are. It's just, ugh, I don't like Nate together. So, in that episode, I forgot to mention in School Lies, Vanessa recorded Blair and Chuck pretty much admitting that they stuck together. And her and Chuck trying to figure out who's going to say what. Chuck's telling her to stop running around hiding with Nate. And she's talking about, I'm sick of this, go tell him. He talked about, you want me to tell Nate that you fixed your virginity for him while you lost your virginity to me. She talked about, I just know that you're lying. She said, who's going to believe his devoted girlfriend for 3 years or you? Like, they just sitting there trying to talk about who's going to do what and da-da-da-da. I think the writers knew they had something with Chuck and Blair, which is why I was really happy that they didn't just, like, make it a one-and-done storyline. I'm glad they made, like, a continuous storyline in the show, because I don't give a fuck. I don't care how anyone feels. Chuck and Blair would be absolutely the best thing about Gossip Girl. No doubt motherfucking about it. The absolute best thing about Gossip Girl. Period, point blank. I got to about them too, about me talking about why I love them, even though they did have their toxicity moments. Don't worry, I will talk about Chuck and Blair, because I don't care what anyone says. They could be on Miss Mojo's toxic relationship. They could be on all the lists. I don't care. Chuck and Blair, to me, are my Roman Empire, along with other couples. They're on that Roman Empire of OTPs forever. I will forever love Chuck and Blair. Period. I think the writers just knew they had something. They had something, and they couldn't just let it go. That's what happened. I think y'all know what happens in the episode when everybody finds out about Blair. I made a video about it. I think Nate is a hypocrite. I think Nate is an asshole for breaking up with Blair, for doing exactly what he did, but keeping it a secret. And the fact that she gave him, I don't want to say Blair even gave him a second chance. She gave him second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, a whole bunch of motherfucking chances to make it up to her. And he failed every motherfucking time. And now you want to get mad at my good sis because she was heartbroken and in a vulnerable situation. Like, really, Nate? You're a hypocrite and you're a fucking jerk. Get the fuck off my line. Like, so that's kind of where it ended with him and Blair. I know people are going to say the Serena part of the storyline ended way too quick, and I totally agree. But I still feel like no one holds Nate accountable for pretty much being the bad guy in this entire storyline. Like, they try to make it seem like, people try to make it seem like Blair was just tripping or da-da-da-da-da. Like, no. Blair was vindicated for feeling how the way she felt. Nate played with her feelings the whole time they were together. The entire time. So, we're not going to do that. And when it comes to the whole Vanessa and Jenny thing, I still think he was the bad guy in this scenario. Because check this out. This originally started with him and Vanessa, a relationship that I did not care about, that started in season 1. I believe him and Vanessa broke up in season 1. They broke up or something like that. And season 2, she still had feelings for him. They still had feelings for each other, but Nate was seeing this older woman, which was very, very creepy and very problematic by the show. That storyline with Nate and that lady Catherine was so gross to me, watching it back as an adult. It was so gross. The fact that she was having sex with Nate, who was underage, and he was getting money out of it. Pretty much, Nate was like a prostitute. Pretty much. I definitely think that storyline was disgusting. And you know, Misha Amick, I love me some Misha Amick. I think her face card is incredible back then. And I feel like she's just such an underrated actress in general. I really love Misha Amick. She was also in Dawson's Creek in season 2. And I love seeing her. Her face card just never declined back then. And I just feel like it was like crazy to me that they wrote that storyline. Because not only was she had a thing for underage boys, because she was also getting hit from the back from her stepson. Just so fucking disgusting. And I thought it was weird, but let's get back to the whole Nate and Vanessa thing. Just very weird. That started in season 1. Him and Vanessa couldn't date each other because of that situation, and they never went back out. So in the mix of that, Nate started getting closer to Jenny. Now, I love the mini build-up to Nate and Jenny in season 2. I absolutely ate it up. I thought him and Jenny had really great chemistry. It just ended so soon in season 2. Like, it ended before it even got started, really. Him and Jenny kissed in episode 8 in season 2. When Nate came there, she told him that she got fired from Eleanor's because Eleanor tried to steal her idea. And he talked about, what are you going to tell your father and dad? She talked about it would have been nice to have some support. She said she is unemployed, not in school, and she started befriending Agnes, and Agnes had a friend who takes pictures. He worked in art and things like that. This is creepy too in the show. Like I said, even though I love Gossip Girl, there are some creepy moments. But I understand this show is trying to be a little different from other teen dramas, which I understand. I do appreciate that fact that they own up to what it is. So it doesn't mean there are not some problematic moments. The whole situation with Jenny taking pictures with her no shirt on by an older man is very, very problematic to me. And when they asked her how old is that guy, she said that guy is going to help promote her fashion line, and she left. And in the episode, Agnes pretty much tells Jenny to take off her shirt, and she talks about he's not going to do anything, nothing like that. Nate comes in, and he talking about, Jenny, get your stuff, that's good. She talking about, I'm not leaving with you. And he talking about, dude, calm down, just take a picture. And he said, fine, I'll stay. So she left. And she was like, Agnes was like, honey, I told you he had feelings for you. And in the episode when her and Nate, he was walking her home, she was like, you have no right to come in there and barge in and stop what she was doing. He said you were close enough to making a fucking. He said you were close enough to making a mistake. She said they were taking pictures, not shooting a porno. Like he said, close to it. Close to it. You're underage, Jenny. You're 15, and he's an older man taking pictures of you in your bra at 15. Like, I feel like the show was not leaning towards that of it. Like, that's what Nate should have said. You're 15 and he's taking pictures of you with no shirt on at 15. She talked about, you're not my brother, you're not my dad, why do you care so much? And he said, because, and they kissed. And then him and Jenny had this relationship going on for like 2 episodes, literally. Episode 8 and 9, him and Jenny had this thing going on, which I thought was really cute. Nate supports her fashion thing, but Dan decides to kick him out once he finds out that he was in a relationship with a woman. Even though Nate was the victim, like he said, you're the guy who exchanged sex for money. Like, Dan did not know him. I mean, I actually did like Nate and Dan's friendship throughout the show. I did like it. But I think Dan had no right to pass judgment when he didn't understand the situation. And I thought he was trying to understand because I'm thinking, like, did Vanessa tell him about the situation in season 2 when she told him, and when he tried to hug her, and then she didn't want his affection, and then he hugged her again, and she leaned into it. That too. I think Dan and Vanessa worked a lot better as just friends. When the writers tried to make them into a couple in season 3, it was so cringy. It was so cringy. They work better as friends because they both have very annoying traits. But I do like Dan over Vanessa. It's just, there's some things about Dan that I don't like. Like, I do think he is highly judgmental. He thinks he's above everyone in some way. Anyway, we didn't get to it again. But y'all get my point. The fact that he thinks Nate is not a good enough guy for Jenny because he was in a messy situation, like, you have no right to pass any judgment on him. Like, you have no right. You don't even know the situation he was in. He was actually groomed and manipulated into this relationship with an older woman. Like, damn, are you serious, bro? So when Jenny was doing her fashion line, she kissed Nate. Vanessa saw, and Jenny tried to apologize to Vanessa, and Vanessa then talked to her, and then in the very next episode, no, at the end of the episode, no, I'm tripping, because Jenny didn't come back home into episode 10 in season 2. No, I'm tripping. What the fuck am I talking about? Jenny didn't come back home until episode 11 in season 2. So episode 10, I believe. No, I'm tripping. Let me, because I know my Gossip Girl. We didn't see Vanessa We didn't see Vanessa in episode 10. She wasn't in the episode. Jenny was, running away from home, doing her own thing, which I condone because Rufus is a terrible parent. In episode 11, Jenny is pretty much episode 10. Why I keep saying episode 11? Because it's the same thing. I'm just trying to understand. Jenny gets kicked out by living with Agnes, and she pretty much starts living at the art gallery, sleeping there, until Eric sneaks her into the house, having her eat and sleep there. I love Jenny and Eric's friendship too in the show, and I hate that it got ruined in season 3. I got a video coming about Jenny too, so y'all just be patient. I do got some Gossip Girl rants coming. So Jenny asks Lily, can she sign the emancipation? Can she just pretend to be a guardian and sign over the emancipation? Lily says she'd rather just have her talk to Rufus, and she said that she don't want to do that. So Lily invites Rufus over anyway. This is episode 11, not 10 anymore, episode 11. And Jenny asks Rufus one more time, can he sign the emancipation letters? He said he's not going to do that because he said that Jenny will always be his daughter, and he said that he will always be her father, and he said that he can't do that. And she said she's going to have to find a way. And he said he will always love Jenny, but he said he can't sign this over. So Jenny leaves in the cold. Blair is the one who convinces Jenny to go back home. She said no one should be alone on the holidays. And Jenny decides to rip up the emancipation letter and move back home. She said that she loves Rufus and that she does not want to stop being his daughter. And that Jenny, her storyline ends in season 2. I feel like her storyline ended way too soon in season 2. Like, they could have kept that going a little bit more with the emancipation stuff. They could have kept that going. She goes back home, and then at the same episode, Vanessa comes over. Jenny apologizes and saying that she never wants to let a guy ever get in between their friendship, even though they didn't really feel like they had one get between them. She said if it means anything, she said Nate didn't even leave her a letter or anything. He just moved out. But what Jenny don't know is that Nate did leave her a letter about explaining how he felt and how everything went down. Vanessa ripped it up. No, she didn't rip it up. She took it and Jenny never got it. And then Vanessa did the exact same thing that she got mad at Jenny for. She started hooking up with Nate behind Jenny's back. And the way that Jenny found out, even though Jenny was the one who, like she said when her and Vanessa got into it, is that I actually chased you down all night trying to find you to explain, and you didn't even have the fucking courtesy to tell me that you were seeing him? Really, Vanessa? When Jenny found out, when Vanessa was trying to order a pizza, she said, really, Vanessa? She said, with Nate, really? She said, now it makes sense why I haven't heard him. She said, he's been with you. She said, I was going to tell you. And she said, are you really that desperate, Vanessa? She said, are you really jealous, Jenny? She said, Nate asked me to go with him to that ball, to the dance tonight. And she said, you know what, I'm going to go. Like, the fact that you get mad at what she did to you, but you do it to her, and you do it even worse. Not only do you steal the letter, but you don't even have the courtesy to tell Jenny that you were seeing him. Like, girl, you're a full-blown hypocrite, and you're just fucking messy. Jenny decides to get payback at her and mess up her dress, and which I feel like she was very vindicated for, because Vanessa was a fake-ass bitch in that moment. And then Vanessa tries to make it seem like she was all doing the right thing by telling Nate she never felt this way about anybody, and that she took the letter and Jenny never got it. And pretty much just like trying to easy her way out of what she did. Like, girl, no. And then when Jenny tried to chase Vanessa down and apologize again, Nate stops her and tells her that what she did was embarrassing and it wasn't right. And he said, no wonder why they don't work, because he said she's way too immature and everything like that. And it's just like, really, Nate? Even though she did the exact same thing to me, what she did was even worse. She was seeing you, and the whole time while I was thinking about why you weren't calling or anything like that, why you left me motherfucking hanging, even that situation. Nate, I didn't even get on him. I'm talking about Vanessa so much. Let me get on him. Nate, you get with Jenny, leave her a letter, hop out, never tell her face to face about how you felt about anything, how it all went down. And in the midst of that, you get with her bitch, Vanessa, and neither one of y'all ever talk about how telling Jenny the truth. Like, Nate, there's never no scene of Nate of telling Vanessa, we're going to tell Jenny that we're seeing each other. Like, what? And then he talked about, this is the letter that I left you to explain everything about how I felt, and he said, now it don't matter. Like, Nate was the bad guy in all of that. Like, the show tried to make something it was Vanessa. Even though Vanessa was wrong too, Nate was the one who was trying to see, he got with one best friend and then he got with the other one. And took no accountability for it. Like, Nate was really a bad guy when it came to these two love triangles, and I feel like nobody ever talks about it. Even though I feel like the Nate, Jenny, and Vanessa love triangle was way better than the Blair and Serena one. I don't care what anyone says, because the Blair and Serena one, they dropped that so early in season 1 that it was like, it didn't even feel like a love triangle anymore. But the Serena, Jenny, and I said Serena, the Nate, Vanessa, and Jenny one had way more layers to it. Again, another storyline that they dropped in season 2. And season 2 had way more episodes than season 1. It's like, why y'all dropping so many good fucking storylines that y'all could have kept going? The Jenny thing would have kept him and Vanessa's relationship interesting, because after that, I didn't care about him and Vanessa. Their relationship got like 0 screen time. And another thing too, I think about this, but it's just a little bit of a side rant, because I'm about to transition into Dawson's Creek, but I'm going to give my final thoughts about Nate. I've always felt like when it came to the Blair, Nate, and Chuck love triangle, as much as I love it, I feel like the reason why I feel like it's still not a good love triangle is because Nate and Blair just don't work at all together as a couple. They have 0 chemistry, and I just felt like I just never felt the chemistry or whatever the fuck the writers tried to spill on us with her and Nate. I feel like instead of putting Nate and Blair together, what they could have done is put Chuck and Vanessa together. Because hear me out, y'all. In that episode, in season 2, episode 7, Chuck in real life, am I the only one who felt like it was a vibe between him and Vanessa? Like, I honestly feel like it was a vibe there, and I can't help but feel like maybe it was because Ed and Jessica were dating in real life. They were dating around like 08 to 09. They dated in real life. Oh my god, they started to do the show together. That's so awkward. So I probably feel like that's probably what I'm thinking. Like, I felt a vibe between Nate and Vanessa, and I would have had, that would have been a lot more interesting than Blair and Nate, in my opinion. It could have been a Chuck, Vanessa, and Blair love triangle to me, because I feel like it would have just been way more interesting if Chuck would have gotten with someone else and seeing Blair be the jealous one, over than Chuck being jealous of her and Nate. Because it's just like, we know that Blair and Nate don't even compare to what her and Chuck had, but I feel like him and Vanessa would have been interesting. Like, it would have been interesting to see what that dynamic would have been. And I feel like the writer, again, another storyline that was dropped after 1 episode. They actually did it twice. Him and Vanessa actually had a vibe in season 2, episode 7. That went nowhere. And then they slept together in season 2, episode 19. That went nowhere. It didn't go anywhere. Her and Chuck were actually vibing at the party. They both agreed to go to the party together to get back at Blair and Nate. It didn't go anywhere. It's like, why would they drop so many storylines in season 2? Season 2 had 25 episodes, I believe. Yes, season 2 had 25 episodes. You know, tell me you couldn't stretch at least some of those episodes. You couldn't at least stretch some of those storylines out in season 2. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. My final thoughts about this whole Nate situation is that I feel like Nate is, without a doubt, the bad guy when it comes to these love storylines, but nobody calls it out. And I feel like we need to start calling it out. Stop just calling out Craig. Stop just calling out Lucas. Stop even, God forbid, I can't believe I'm even defending him. Stop calling out just Conrad. Like, a lot of these other guys that y'all tend to overlook, a lot of them did a lot of messy shit too. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Now, I'm not saying that Nate is a bad guy. I just feel like he's not a bad person. I just feel like when it comes to his love life decisions, he didn't make the best decisions, but no one tends to call it out because he's perceived to be this good guy, just confused. But it's like, why doesn't that acknowledgement work for Lucas? I think Lucas was a great guy. He just didn't make the best decisions when it came to his love life. His love life was messy. So it's like, come on now. But it's not going to change. Not Big Lucas. Nate was definitely the bad guy when it came to the whole Blair and Serena thing and when it came to Jenny and Vanessa. He played all of them and tried to act innocent when he wasn't. So that's how I feel. But on to Dawson's Creek. I'm going to try my best to keep this very short and sweet about season 2 because I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Season 2 for Dawson's Creek. Now, I know I made a video a while ago, like probably a while ago, about why I think Dawson's Creek is boring. And I stand by that initiation. I do think it is a very lifeless, dull show. But the reason why I went back and watched it is because I feel like since it's such a popular teen drama show, I couldn't live with myself without even having an inch of any opinions on it. I finished season 1. Season 1 was really nothing special. And then I watched season 2. Season 2 was even more longer of a season with nothing really in it. I think we all know how I feel about Dawson and Joey in the beginning. I thought they were cute in the beginning that they were together, but they were ended. They were done. They ended before it even got started. And in even that situation, since we on the topic of it, I hate the fact that the show acts like in that situation that Dawson has no reason to be mad or pissed about what Joey did. Joey was a complete pick-me in season 1 about Dawson. Getting jealous, getting insecure about him and Jen, and then you get the guy of your dreams, and now you're indecisive about it. Like, I don't get it. I don't like Joey. I think Joey is the worst character on the show for me. I don't like Joey. I don't really watch a lot of Katie Holmes movies or whatever the fuck she is, shows, movies. I don't watch her stuff, but I do think her face card, very beautiful. I think she is very beautiful. I just don't like Joey. I just like someone I just like Dawson. Honestly. Like, honestly, I don't even think Dawson is that bad. Like, I don't think he's that bad. Like, I love the way how he views films and literature and poetry. Like, Dawson is a very deep and emotional character, and I do like that about him. It's just, he could be a tad bit whiny. He can be a little bit self-centered. He can be a little bit of a know-it-all. He's a little bit self-righteous, and he can be a tad, that's like whiny, he can be a tad bit whiny. And I do think another problem too with Dawson is that he thinks a little bit, he don't live in reality sometimes. He live a little bit too in the imaginative world. Like, he don't live in reality sometimes, which, you know, is not a bad thing. He's a very imaginative person. You know, he likes books, literature, art. So, of course, he's going to tend to escape reality. But I could somewhat understand some of Dawson's crash outs. Like, the way he felt about Joey in season 2, very much vindicated. Very much vindicated everything. The way he felt, she did him so dirty and took no accountability for it. None. And her and Jack, that shit went on for entirely too long. I really didn't have any attachment to Jack or Andy as characters. I will give Andy this. Her storyline, for that to be that early on at a time where I don't think people really took mental health seriously, like how mental health is seriously now in this day of age, I definitely feel like Andy, her mental health storyline was really good in season 2. I would have much just preferred that than her dating Pacey, because to me, I didn't care about Andy and Pacey. Everybody talks about, oh my god, they were so cute, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't remember how they got together. That's how forgetful they are to me. I don't remember how they got together. I just felt like they wanted to give Pacey something, so they gave him that, and I just felt like I didn't care. I didn't care about him and Andy together. I didn't really think they had any chemistry. I feel like Andy, her mental breakdown journey, like her mental breakdown storyline about losing her brother and being on her medication and everything with her mom, them not being with her dad, her parents being divorced, like all that was so fucking good to me. All that was good, and her having to go to the psychiatric hospital because of her mental breakdown. Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And not too long, because I'm not done with Dr. I'm not done with Dr. I'm not done with them yet. The episode where I'm just gonna based off I was gonna go down character by character to do this season. But I really feel like a lot of characters didn't do much outside of the same storylines that carried the entire show. Literally, Dawson had one storyline this entire season, and that was literally Joey. Joey had one storyline. Jack or Dawson. Literally the entire time in this season. Jen, I have no idea what the writers are doing with Jen in this season. Jen was having a rebellious phase that didn't mean anything. They don't tell us why she's doing this. Jen literally cuts her hair, hangs out with Abby, getting drunk, hooking up with random guys, and like, why is she doing this? Why? I really do like Jen as a character. I do like her. I think she's very mysterious. I just hate Jen. To me, is like getting punished in the show. Like, she's like a punished character, but it's like, why is she being punished? Like, they wasted Abby in this show to me. Like, I think Abby should have been way more of an intriguing character than she was. Like, she was intriguing, but I feel like I didn't see her much, and I feel like she should have been a part of the main cast because she probably would have kept things interesting. Because I feel like the other characters, they just like, I love Jen, but her storylines are not good. I love Pacey, but his storylines are not good. Pacey is very one-dimensional. Like, I know the Pacey fans love him, but honestly, y'all, give me a Pacey storyline outside of his messy love life. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll be here. None. In season 1, Pacey had no storylines outside of him and that teacher. He had no storylines in season 2 outside of him and Andy. And the storyline that they should have given us, and they did nothing with, is the one with his dad, who is a police officer, who is a classic police officer stereotype. He's a drunk. I don't think they say he's abusive, but that scene with Pacey and his dad in the fishing episode, where he was asking him, "When did you give up on me? I'm 16. I need you, and I love you." That was such a good acting scene. And literally, that's episode 13, y'all. And literally, episode 23, the last episode of the season, him and his dad reconciled. He did nothing with that. His entire storyline in the season was him being with Andy, and I didn't care for that. I really didn't. I love Dawson and Jen's friendship. I feel like Dawson and Jen should be the end game. Fuck him and Joey. Hopefully when I watch the show, him and Jen end up together. Even though I do know him and Jen, I know Jen dies. Of course she dies. She's so punished. I could see not going from all the way that Jen was gonna die. I like them a lot better. I feel like Jen actually understands Dawson. I feel like she's way more emotionally understanding than Joey. I don't think Joey is emotionally understanding at all. I think Joey is very, very insecure, a hater, very indecisive, very pick-me-ish. She gives me a pick-me vibe. Like, I'll never forget when she got mad at Jen in the episode when they all decided to have a girls' night. She talked about, you want to take my boyfriend? You want to take my friends? And she said, now you want to take my position of making Dawson's movie? Like, Joey, are you serious? I'm hearing I'm hearing all these minds. Like she said, you want to go trying to sit here and blame me for your own insecurities? She talked about, maybe I am a tad bit insecure, but she said, she said, you want to evict your own motives. She said, when Dawson picked me, she said, I think your ego was bruised. Like, really, Joey? Are you serious? I'm like, are you serious? And look what happened. You ruined the exact relationship that you were so pick-me about. Like, you don't sit your motherfucking ass down and shut the fuck up. And fuck her apology to Jen. That apology was not sincere. Because whenever Joey is feeling angry and feeling like she wants to lash out, she always takes it out on Jen. And that shit is so irritating. Even in that situation, The episode when Jen and Dawson kissed and they was cuddled up in the bed. Dawson wrote Jen a letter telling her that he don't want to lead her on. He still pretty much has feelings for Joey, and he wants to let her know that. Jen, the letter drops on the floor. Abby picks it up. Abby pretty much puts all the couples who are people who she thinks are together, put them all in one room and wants to find out who's having sex. When she alluded to Joey and Jack, Dawson got jealous. He said, "How could you lose your virginity to him?" And I do think Dawson and Joey are both very possessive of each other because they feel like it's supposed to be them. And child. And she said, "How could you lose your virginity to Jen?" She said, "Of all people, Jen, really?" Yeah, because she thinks Jen is just this big old nasty little slut. Even though Jen is hooking up with people at parties, drunk, casually. Okay, maybe Joey does have at least some of a point. Maybe Jen is a free spirit, but you don't even know Jen. Like you don't know her. Okay, yeah, she's a free spirit and she might give the milk out for free, but you don't even know Jen. Like, at least there's like something to get to know with Jen. Like, at least Jen has a mind of her own. She actually has good ideas. She's actually emotionally in touch with her feelings. She has her own beliefs, and Joey doesn't care to get to know who Jen is. Like, she got so mad about Dawson trying to hook up Jen and Jack. Like, really? That too, I do like Jen and Jack's friendship. I like the little mini build that they had in season 2 of him starting to care about her and things like that. I did like that. And you know, at the end of the episode, Jen tells Abby that she's a terrible person, and her and Dawson walk home in the rain. I did like that one with Joey and Dawson. I thought that was cute when they both went home in the rain. I will say this, because I honestly feel like this season didn't have really much to offer outside of the stuff with Joey and Dawson. That was probably like the most interesting thing about this season. As much as I love Jen, I like Pacey. I don't love Pacey. I have not found that itch to love Pacey, but I do love Jen. I like Dawson, to be honest. I do like him. Oh, and not on this, the stuff with his parents. That was so interesting to me. The whole divorce storyline with his parents, so interesting. His parents just get right back together. It's like, what was the point? What's 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 the point? What was the point? The episode when Dawson gets drunk on his birthday and he pretty much calls out everybody, he was pretty much verified. And the part when he was talking, well, the Pacey one when he talked about he needs Pacey to dump how terrible his life is so Dawson can brag about how good he has it. That too. Dawson and Pacey are not friends. Okay? They're not friends. It doesn't feel like one. Dawson and Joey are friends. Pacey just happens to be there. Okay? Okay. I want people to know that now because that's how I feel. It does not feel like a friendship. It does not. It does not feel like a friendship. The one where he was like asking Joey, you talk about, you say you want to find yourself. He went to the other side of the room, went down on his table, and he said, "Where's Joey? Where's Joey?" I was like, Dawson is clocking her. You want to find yourself, Joey? You do? But being with some other guy, I just say you want to be more independent and find yourself and blah, 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 blah. No, you just wanted to not be with me. Just say that. Even though she did try to do her art and things like that, which I'm not mad at, her mom was an artist. Okay, period. I love that for you. I love that for you. She talked about our lives are just so intertwined. I need to know who I am before I can be with you and all that. And it's just like, Joey, I just don't know if I believe that. I really don't. I do think her and Dawson do have chemistry to me. I do think they have chemistry. I know I said originally I didn't feel it. I lied. I do think in the moments that I did see with them in season 2, they do have chemistry. The problem that I have with Dawson and Joey is that the show does not give me a reason for them to be in game. I do not understand what the love story is here. Outside of the fact that they both grew up with each other and it's that whole friends to lovers situation. There's no other reasons. I don't. With Dawson, he always tells people how he feels about Joey, how she's so amazing and everything. he can go into a whole motherfucking speech about Joey. I don't hear Joey ever tell anyone how she feels about Dawson. Ever. Ever. I just don't. I think Dawson liked her a lot more than Joey liked him. That's how I feel. I feel like it's a very one-sided love story. But the moment that they did have in season 2 was really cute. I think the rain kiss, the moment on the swing, the moment when they walked home in the rain alone, the boat date, I thought was cute. When they got back together, that was cute. The I love you, when he told her that he loved her when he was drunk, I thought that was cute. Like, her and Dawson do have cute moments to me. I do think they have chemistry. I do think that Katie Holmes and I think his name is Jensen. Is that his name? I hope I'm saying it right. And I know he has cancer right now. He's battling cancer, so I hope everything goes great for him and his family. I'm praying for him. I do think they have chemistry. And I am willing to see what Joey and Pacey bring to the table. Because to me, the way I'm feeling, that feels so random. Even, like, I can't wait to see how that plays out. Because me think about it right now in my head, I just feel like them being a couple makes no sense. They barely interact with each other. And don't give it a whole friends to enemies to lovers bullshit. Because they really interact without it being enemies to lovers. It would be like that would be like the version of Dan and Blair. Like, at least Dan and Blair, they were enemies. It's just they didn't make any sense to be lovers. They didn't have the chemistry to be lovers. Her and Dan were cringe. That's how I feel mainly about season 2 of Dawson's Creek. I give Dawson's Creek season 2 a solid 6 out of 10 because I feel like the only thing that was carrying this season was Joey and Dawson. Oh, I didn't talk about that. Joey, the storyline with her dad, that was really good. I just feel like it happened way too late in the season. It happened way too late, and I do think the scene where her dad tells her about him selling the drugs and the whole bait shop going on fire, I thought that was a great acting scene. But the fact that Joey got mad at Dawson again for trying to do the right thing and talk some sense to her, she breaks up with him, telling him she'll never forgive him for what he did. For what? You can never forgive me for telling you the truth that your father was still doing drugs? I just don't get it. Like, I feel like it's very one-sided. I just feel like Joey never really wanted Dawson. I feel like for her, it just never felt reciprocated. I feel like Dawson loved her and liked her way more than she liked him, even though they did have chemistry. They're not an OTP of mine because I feel like the thing that's holding Dawson and Joey back is, first of all, the love story is very one-sided. It feels very unequated. And there isn't enough moments of Joey ever expressing why she's in love with Dawson. Not even in season 1 where she had feelings for him. No, there was no reason for it. That's how I feel about season 2. Hopefully season 3 is better. I know like people say season 3 and 4 are the best seasons of Dawson's Creek. Because honestly, season 1 and 2 didn't really give me much. And I know people say season 5 is when they lose the plot. Honestly, I probably won't watch that season anyway because I hate college-based seasons of teen drama shows. They're usually very boring. As long as they know how to stay away from the college stuff. But most of the clips that I see in season 5, a lot of the storylines are very college campus based. So I don't know. I might watch a couple episodes, but I feel like it's starting to drag. I'm not getting anything out of it. I won't watch because Gossip Girl Season 3, I actually wanted to make a video about Gossip Girl Season 3. I feel like Season 3 for Gossip Girl, I gave it way too much hate. I think Gossip Girl Season 3 is a 10 out of 10 season. It's just the beginning of Season 3 is a tad bit boring because of the college-based episodes. But when the writers realized that shit wasn't working and it wasn't being interesting, they toned it down. They got away from the college stuff, and that's when the season became a lot more interesting to watch. So yeah, and I like to say season 6 is good. It's okay. So I'm looking forward to seasons 3 and 4 and finishing the show because I'm telling myself I'm going to push through this until I finish the show. I'm going to finish the show and then I'm going to talk about whatever comes to my mind about this. And I know I've already made a video about why Dawson and Joey's love story didn't work. Like I said, once I finish the show, I can probably keep going and going about more about the stuff, about any rants that come to mind. But right now, I give season 2 a solid 6 out of 10, and I give season 1 a good. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give season 1 a 6 out of 10 because again, the Dawson and Joey stuff was the best thing about season 1 to me. And the stuff with Dawson's mom having the affair, that was good. I do like Jen as a character. You know, the beginning of Jen and Joey's rivalry was good. You know, Pacey is just there, honestly. I did not like his storyline with the teacher. I thought it was very predatory and very creepy and just, again, a lack of realistic tones about taking accountability, a teacher taking accountability for grooming and seducing her student, who was 15 by the way, and she's 35. But yeah, that's sexualized. That's how Pacey loses Jamie to a 35-year-old woman who's his teacher. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give season 1 a good 6 out of 10 because season 1 was very short and I feel like it didn't really give me much. And I do feel like season 2 added way more episodes, and season 2 still didn't give me much. But I do feel like the Joey and Dawson stuff is the best thing, and I like the stuff with Andy. I love the stuff with Jen, even though I don't understand what her storyline was. And I hated they killed Abby off, but the episode that Abby did die in was very good. And I like the stuff with Joey and her dad and that storyline. That was really good. So yeah, that's how I feel about season 2 of Dawson's Creek. I do have more videos coming. I'll check you guys later, and bye.